All right, guys, we got to talk about Venezuela because it is, by the day, it's getting worse over there. So take a look at this. CNN says, exclusive, CIA carried out drone strike on port facility on Venezuelan coast. So now, according to CNN, the CIA is already committing crimes inside Venezuela proper. This is, by the way, completely and utterly illegal, but nonetheless, they proceed. So Ben Norton says, the CIA is now launching drone strikes inside Venezuela, reportedly with help from U.S. Special Operations Forces. This is an act of war. The U.S. is waging a colonial war of aggression in Venezuela to try to impose a U.S. puppet regime that will privatize its oil, gas, and minerals. Okay, that's exactly what's going on here. Now, what's interesting is there's still a controversy around this, and people are still debating this. And if I scroll down here, you might see Alejandra Castillo says, friend, this is the truth. It wasn't an attack. It was a fire, an accident. And then they have something here coming out of Venezuela explaining how this was some sort of factory and there was an accident there, and that's what led to the explosion. But Trump had came out and said, we did an attack in Venezuela. We did an attack in Venezuela. That's what happened. And so when Trump said that, then the media reported that he said that, and then you had this piece in CNN saying it was the CIA that carried out the drone strike. So you're getting conflicting information, right? Where some people on the ground are saying, no, it was an accident. The CIA and Trump are saying that was us. We did the bombing. But I still have even more updates for you. So this is the video of what happened.
Cerquitica de NASA. Si no logran apagar esa verga rápido.
So you can see the fire here. Very big fire.
De los hechos. En el frente de la casa, pero tuvimos que venir.
More explosions. More explosions here. So again, people are still debating whether or not it was, the U.S. government that did it, or if it was an actual accident and an explosion. And it seems like people in Venezuela are the ones saying, no, this was actually an accident. But what does that say? It's weird that Trump tried to come out and say we bombed, and the CIA is also saying we bombed. And I don't know. It's just very strange that at this late day we don't have all of the information yet. Nothing seems certain over this, okay? But here's something that is certain. Ready? John Jackson says, the first physical evidence in the Caribbean boat strikes has washed up, and it contained marijuana, not cocaine, not fentanyl, but a substance that is legal in 40 of 50 U.S. states. So, this is also something we talked about. We know that very likely most of the people who were killed in these illegal bombings of boats were fishermen. In fact, we know some of the families. There was a family in Trinidad and Tobago. There was a family in Colombia. There's a family in Venezuela. They've killed over 100 people. They've bombed over 20 boats. What they're saying here is, it's true that some of the boats that were bombed were smuggling drugs. They were smuggling weed, which legal 40 out of 50 states. It's, Trump himself was saying we're going to downgrade it. It's not going to be Schedule 1 anymore. We're going to let Biden's thing go through where it becomes Schedule 3. So, it's not viewed as that harmful. And so they're bombing fishermen and marijuana smugglers. I mean, that says it all, doesn't it? That says it all. They do not give a fuck about these innocent people that they're killing. They could not care less. Why? Because they're brown, because they're poor, because they can, look like macho men over it and fucking vice signal to the Republican base on social media and post videos of it where they say, you don't mess with the United States of America, man. And that's what this is. And that's why they call him Secretary of War Crimes, Pete Kegsbreath. And that's why Trump is a fucking war criminal. And so you get all of these horrible, horrible updates. Again, I've yet to see an update when it comes to this story that's good. There hasn't been a single thing. You blink and it's, oh shit, now they bombed another. They just did the other day. They bombed another, I believe, either 2 boats or 2 people, and it was in the Pacific, which is what is that about? Why? The Venezuela, that's got nothing to do with the Pacific. So are they just also I don't give a fuck, we'll bomb Mexican ships too? What is going on here? The warmongering is completely and utterly out of control. I mean, they don't even know what the fuck's going on anymore. So anyway, I'll ask you guys, what does it say that Trump said they bombed in Venezuela? The CIA, according to CNN, says we bombed in Venezuela. But Venezuelans are on the ground insisting, no, this was actually an explosion. I think I read it was a chicken feed plant or something like that. And it was an accident. But what does that say that there's a disagreement? And what do you think actually happened? But I don't know, man. I'm still concerned of a full-scale, all-out regime change war. There was reporting that Trump was basically going to keep bombing fishermen until Maduro steps aside. Like, that was what some of the speculation was and what some of the reporting was. But clearly, he's not going to fucking step aside. And so what happens then? Are they going to go in guns blazing? Is it going to be more CIA stuff? Is it going to be drone strikes? Is it going to be, fighter jets? Is it going to be a ground invasion? But, they've been saying over and over, we're going to go in soon. We're going to do it. Which, by the way, I'll also say this. The fact that Trump's saying it was a bombing and CNN says the CIA also says that alone, okay, boom, you got it. Grounds for impeachment. Let's go. Because it's not even up in the air. It's not a question. Everybody knows you have to go through Congress. I mean, I would argue even the strikes on the boats, even that's illegal, even that's unconstitutional, even that is impeachment worthy. But, people have convinced themselves for whatever cockamamie reason that that's technically not an act of war, so it's okay. Okay, but then if you're bombing inside of a country that we don't have a declaration of war with, that is objectively a war. There's no way out of it. You can't weasel out of that. So by Trump announcing that we bombed there and the CIA doing the same thing, you are effectively tattooing on your forehead, impeach me. And so what I would say to Democrats is, fucking get on it. Wakey, wakey. Wakey, wakey. And we got so much there. The question is, which argument do you even use to try to impeach Trump? Because there's so many to choose from. Whether it be the Epstein file stuff, whether it be the illegal war in Iran and the bombing we did there, totally illegally, whether it be Venezuela, whether it be the emoluments clause and the corruption where Trump's making billions of dollars off the White House. Like, all of that stuff is completely and utterly illegal. It's a high crime, and he could be impeached for it. I mean, that's the bottom line. So if you're taking credit for it, okay, then you're going to get full credit for it, and we're going to make sure we try to impeach your ass over this, because this is unacceptable. And all the fucking right-wingers who screamed about how they're the ones against regime change war, well, now you have an opportunity to prove it, don't you? Now you have an opportunity to prove it. Will you stand up to Trump as he loses his mind and goes full warmonger neocon imperialist? That's the question. And for some reason, I doubt that they will. I doubt that they will stand up to him. They're going to silently go along like they do with every other fucking thing. But you know what? Your boy lost a step. He lost his fastball. He's at fucking 35% approval rating. And so now you're committing political suicide if you go along with him. It reminds me of the guy, who was it? I forget the guy's name, but there was this Republican congressman who posted a picture of him as like smoking a cigar. He goes, I'm voting with Trump to block the release of the Epstein files or something like that. Cut to a couple days later, Trump says, I'm in favor of releasing. I don't know what you're talking about. There was so much pressure. He goes, I'm fine with releasing. I'll sign the bill. And so this fucking idiot went out on a limb to back Trump, ended up shooting himself in the dick. Then I think he said, I'm not running for re-election anymore. Like, humiliate yourself. I'll help you cover up the Fredophile cabal, sir. And then he's like, well, I'm going to release the information on the Fredophile cabal. Oh, yeah, totally. I'm with you. All right, I'm resigning. Like, that's what's happening now. So you guys want to fucking march with him off the plank? That's my question for you Republicans. Do you want to march off the plank for him? Because that's effectively what you'd be doing if you let him get away with all this stuff. Which, we're dealing with a sundowning, dementia-having, early Alzheimer's president, and you guys are still going to fucking ride this bitch into the rocks? That's what you're going to do? All right, well, good luck with that. Let me know how that goes. Good luck with that. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.